By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to play smarter pickleball. Not just harder. You'll learn how to think through every phase of a point, from your serve all the way through your fourth shot, and how to make small but crucial adjustments that instantly help you win more rallies. These are the same strategic habits the pros use, and once you start applying them, you'll find yourself controlling more points, making fewer errors, and forcing opponents to play your game instead of theirs. Let's start with the serve, the foundation of every point. Serving isn't just about getting the ball in, it's your first chance to create an advantage. Most players waste it by doing the same thing every time, safe, predictable, serves down the middle. But if you want to win consistently, you need to serve with intention. The first key is to target your opponent's weaknesses. Pay attention to what kind of serve gives them trouble. Many players struggle with deep serves to their backhand, while others hate dealing with heavy topspin or side spin serves like the screwball. Experiment a bit early in the match. You'll quickly spot what throws them off, and once you do, keep going back to it. The second part of smart serving is finding that perfect balance between power and consistency. Sure, you want to serve deep and hard, but not at the cost of missing too many. The goal is roughly 90% consistency. It's okay to miss 1 out of 10 if it means the other 9 are deep, powerful, and force weak returns. That trade-off pays off in the long run because your opponents will be under constant pressure. The third tip is to mix things up. Even if you find your opponent's weakness, you can't feed them the same serve over and over. They'll eventually adapt. Use variety to keep them guessing. Alternate between your heavy topspin serve, a slower loopy serve, and an occasional slice or screwball. Change your target area too. Serve wide sometimes, middle other times. That unpredictability will keep your opponent off balance and uncomfortable right from the first shot. Next, let's talk about the return. The return is your opportunity to neutralize your opponent's serve and immediately take control of the rally. To do that consistently, your priorities are depth, safety, and positioning. First, focus on keeping your return deep. That pushes your opponent back and makes their third shot much harder. But depth only matters if you stay consistent. To improve your margin for error, hit a little higher over the net. Missing in the net is the easiest mistake to fix. Avoid aiming right for the back line or sidelines. Give yourself a cushion. The safest and most effective return spot is usually down the middle, since it reduces angles for your opponents. When your opponent hits a hard serve, your technique needs to adjust. You'll want a firmer wrist so your paddle doesn't wobble on impact, and a more compact swing to stay in control. Focus on striking the ball cleanly in the center of your paddle, the sweet spot, because mishits will spray wide or short. When the serve is slow though, you can open up your swing a little. That's when you can step in, add some topspin, and hit with more depth to apply pressure. But the most important part of returning isn't just the shot itself, it's what comes next. After your return, you want to move quickly to the kitchen. That transition is where most players lose points, because they stay stuck halfway back, inviting their opponents to attack. Your return sets you up to get to the line, so hit it, move forward, and be ready for the next ball. Once the return comes back, you're facing what's often called the money shot, the third shot. It's the most critical one in pickleball because it determines whether you can get up to the kitchen or stay stuck at the baseline. The biggest mistake players make here is not knowing whether to drive or drop. The best players decide based on the situation. If the return comes short and high, go for the drive. That's your chance to attack and keep the pressure on. But if the return is deep or forces you back, the smart move is to hit a drop shot. When you drive, you want to meet the ball right at the peak of its bounce. That gives you the best angle and control to hit it hard and low over the net. When you drop, you want to let the ball fall slightly from its peak before contacting it. That's what helps it arc gently into the kitchen. Your movement after the serve is just as important. Get into position quickly so you can meet the ball at the right height. If you're hitting a drop, don't rush forward too early. Give yourself space and time. And if your third shot drops aren't consistent yet, it's perfectly fine to rely more on drives while you develop that touch. Just remember that the ultimate goal of a third shot, whether it's a drive or a drop, is to help you and your partner move forward and take the kitchen line. Now, let's move to the fourth shot, one of the most misunderstood parts of the game. This shot often decides who takes control of the rally. The key is to follow a simple formula. Aim for your opponent's feet and match your response to the type of shot they hit. If they drive hard, keep your wrist firm and block it back with control. If they drop, soften your hands and flick it gently with topspin to keep them moving. Your target should always move with your opponents. When they're back near the baseline, aim deep near their feet to keep them from advancing. As they move closer, adjust your target closer too, so you're always keeping the ball low and at their shoelaces. And if they've made it all the way to the kitchen, don't go for depth. Switch to a dink instead. A deep shot at that point will just give them an easy volley. Another big principle for the fourth shot is to take the ball out of the air whenever possible. Lean into the kitchen and volley the drop instead of letting it bounce. This cuts off your opponent's time and prevents them from closing in. You only need to take one small pivot step back if the ball drops too deep, but never multiple steps. Backing up too much gives your opponent the upper hand and resets the rally in their favor. So remember, stay firm against drives, flick against drops, and always take time away from your opponent by intercepting balls and early. So to recap, the secret to winning more points isn't hitting harder, it's thinking smarter. Your serve should challenge your opponent's comfort zone, your return should set you up for control, and your third and fourth shots should help you transition smoothly to the kitchen line. Once you start making these decisions consciously, your entire game changes. You'll feel calmer under pressure, you'll make fewer unforced errors, and you'll start recognizing exactly what the right shot is at every moment.